next stage would be exploring the character rig. So you should find out before you start like animating this character, you must find out uh, what part does what, right? What kind of control it has. So if I click this one, the main control, which is probably most important control, in the channel box, you will see different options. And it's obviously all the same, but you will see some other options below this usual channel box parameters. First, shift, and the second one is squash and stretch. If you can do also select this one, and if you move the cursor to the view panel, and then if you right mouse click and then press it down, and you will see this small little arrow appears. And then if you move left and right, you will see this value changes. So this is also squash and stretch. It is preset for you guys. And then if you this one also, if you just clicked it and you will choose between these two options, you can see two options set provided, and if you click hide, it will hide your tail. Sometimes it could come as useful, like because sometimes you want to animate your body itself, and then all the rest of the stuff, like once you set up your main, after you set up your key poses of the main body, so it could be helpful. And the ears, you can show and hide. There's ears obviously, but for this assignment, please do not use ears. I don't want you to animate ears and then spend a lot of time animating these ears. So hide it. Just focus on the ball and the tail, okay, and then make it look good. You are not going to get the any extra points for animating ears, so it will be just wasting your time, okay. And ball super control, if you show it, it is nice. You will see a lot of controls, and then you will get to control all these details of the ball shapes, okay. So you can use it, but also if you click the tail super control, if you show it, small, all these small controls, but don't try to use it from the beginning. You don't really need this in the when you are setting the key poses. I don't believe you will need them. It will just confuse you and confuse so much that you may lose the track of like which control you animated in what poses, and it will be very complicated. So I highly suggest you to stick with the main controls that it shows when you open it, okay. And if you click these controls here, the curve control, that like just one that it provides, and once you click it in the channel box, you can see there are only rotate XYZ. So if I rotate them, you will see this tail is being followed like without leaving the surface, right? Which is cool. So you can do many things, such as if I do squash and stretch, and then if I change the rotation, and then it should be up here, right? If I rotate it, it should be up here. So if not, then you can just rotate this one and follow that. Follow it should be, so to make it to place it in the right spot, okay. And I go back and undo, and this shift things, yes. And once you're done, if you move shift, you will see it. Obviously the shifts, when you do a squash and stretch, while the shift is set to a default, like a shift default is set to a -10, without changing it, it will squash it down to the floor, yeah. But if you move shift, if you change it to 10, 10 is maximum value, then it will be squashed up to the ceiling, right? So it will be very useful if it has to collide into two different spots, left and right, or bottom and the top. You can just animate the shift at the same time, and then animate the squash and stretch values. Okay, I'll go back to what it was before. And then for the tail, this part and this part, you can all use rotate, scale all of them here for the tails. But when you do, keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind when you use scales for the tail. You will have to you must keep in mind that you try to keep that volume, right? Like you shouldn't just do like everything, make it big and then, oh, this is okay, right? Well, this is not like for under the circumstances, it could work as something funny, but like physically you should try to keep the volume, keep the entire volume as it is when you use a scale. And I don't think this can do it. This rig can keep the volume automatically, so you will have to do it manually. And so there are 2 parts, 3 parts, and it's separated to 4 parts. So you should animate all of these parts for the tail, and then don't try to use any other parts that it provides, like such as ears, and you'll be good. Okay, so you are now ready to move on to the next stage.